Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about how to use the Countif function to figure out how many months out of the last 12 had cash come in. And then I'm going to look at how many full payments came in over the course of the last year. So this is just a sample tape that I extracted out of another tape. And you can see that sellers don't always give you this, but oftentimes they will give you the pay history back a certain number of months. So what I can do here is add a column. And when I add columns, a lot of times I like to change the fill color just as a reminder to myself that this is something that I added that didn't come directly from the seller. I'm going to call this one number of months with cash last 12. That's pretty wordy statement, but in this point, I'm not really looking at the number of complete payments. I'm just looking at whether there was cash or not. Just want to use the countif function. Just go equals countif. And then we'll select our range, and so that'll just be the last 12 months. So for this row, I'll just select the last 12. Now for the criteria, in this case, at this point, I'm just trying to figure out whether anything came in or not. I don't care if it was a little bit or if it was a lot. So I want to count all the cells that have anything greater than 0 in them. All right, so that one's actually had 12. And then it's just happened to be formatted in dollars, so I'll change that. And copy that down. So you can see here, most of these have actually had 12 out of 12 months where something came in. Some of these, not so much. All right, so that's all you have to do that. But then a lot of times you'll notice in here, they don't always make pay the same amount every time. So like this one, for example, here they paid $620, which is actually their regular payment, and it was nice the seller broke it out between P&I, and it looks like they're escrowing taxes, insurance, or both on all of these. But like on this loan, they paid $620, then they paid $350, then they paid $940. So the other thing I want to look at is the amount of cash that came in the last 12. And this is helpful sometimes, if I'm trying to get an idea of just like a real basic ROI. So we can use sum and sum the cash in the last 12. And then the other thing I like to look at is I can use that to get the number of actual payments. So in this case, I'm just going to divide the amount of cash that came in by the number of payments. As you can see here, this one actually somewhere along the lines they paid a little extra. Some of these are right on. Some of these 10.0 to 9.4. This just gives you a better overall sense of when you're looking at the tape, which loans are truly performing, which are subperforming, which are non-performing, and by how much. Because when you even though it's nice when they give you the raw data, when you just try to eyeball it, that gets really confusing. So sometimes sellers will give you some of this information in the tape, which is nice. A lot of times they don't, and a lot of times even if they do, I kind of like to double check it anyways, just for myself. So anyhow, hopefully that helps you out. As always, drop me an email or leave a comment if you got any questions. Thanks.